Let's go. Welcome to the show. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me. Cause it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Let's get the topic straight. Let's get things good. Let's do everything that we should. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is your boy Take Project Open Mic. We're gonna have ourselves a wonderful show tonight. This is basically put together. We're gonna talk about student debt. Let me bring my lovely mug on the screen. How you doing? How you doing? Hope y'all are having a good week. Hope y'all are doing well. And thank you for joining me for tonight's show. Now, tonight's show is basically, we're going to be hitting a lot of points and situations about the student loan debt forgiveness and all this stupidness that we're having on. So, but I'm not going to just show you a lot of, let's put it this way, where I'm going to basically present you a lot of the problems, but also I have an answer. I have a way to fix this problem. So that is something that a lot of people don't want. I should say not a lot of people, but a lot of government don't want. We're going to be talking about how to fix the student debt problem. It's going to be hard, but it easily can be fixed. But understand one thing about government. They do not want to fix problems because whatever party it is, Republican or Democrats, between the states or whatever, they like to have the problems so they could nudge it a little bit, but they don't want to fix it because if they fix it, that's a topic or a voter block or a sense of power taken off the table, so they can keep saying it. They always say, "Oh, let's fix this and all this stuff," and they never fix it. There's some stuff that they could never. It's gonna take a long time to fix. I admit to that. Like Joe Biden, when they played last week, Joe Biden said, "We're gonna make a cure for cancer." That's gonna take a long while. Ain't gonna happen ain't gonna happen while he's if he still is alive. That's for sure. But there's some issues that they can fix. They don't want to fix. Border is an issue they could fix. The border situation they could fix. Illegal immigration they could fix. They could fix all that. The drug issues they could fix. Most of the drug, not all of them. So no, I'm talking about the people who are using drugs and they're on the streets doing meth and stuff, and now they're doing copious amounts of crazy meth laced with what's that drug that's coming from China? Amphetamine. I don't think it's amphetamine. It's but I'm trying the drug that makes you super addictive to the stuff. I mean, sadly, George Ford had it in the system, so that's made him crazy as well too. But they could fix a lot of these issues. They just don't want to because it will lose them power. So that's the situation we're running up against here. Give me 1 second, because I want to make sure this is a very important topic, so I want to make sure I'm coming loud and clear through. Give me 1 second, because I want to make sure. Yes, I am, and we are good to go. Okay, alrighty then. So we have that. Again, chime in. Tomorrow's side chat will be about the comments and stuff about this one, because this is basically a specific topic. I am not gonna be jumping around from here to here to here. And it's gonna be a long video. So hopefully, guys, if you're on YouTube, and you see this on Facebook, Facebook, Facebook is shouting bad at me. If you're on Twitch TV, or whatever place you see this video on, please like, share, subscribe. Go to YouTube, help us out on the algorithms in that. If you like Spotify, you want to save data, you want to do, go to Spotify, Project Over Mike. You will get to see some of these videos as well. But again, help us mostly Project Over Mike. You can see right there on YouTube. Help us with the algorithms. Again, Nico live, you live, Tempo FM. Thank you all for watching tonight. And it looked like we already don't have a great start already to the situation, as we already done jumped to 8,360 people in the building. Now, for those who need to understand this, that is basically a amalgamation of all the platforms that do have the program I use. Basically, XSplit has a way to combine all the numbers of watching this live, because I broadcast live to multiple platforms in one video. So all of that is basically amalgamated together of, again, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, Tempo FM, Nico live, live now. Those are the platforms that you're seeing this live right now. Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, all those are after the fact. But like I said, we're going right now. Now we're up to 9,000. So yes, so again, hopefully you guys settle in and enjoy this. I might put a couple comments at the end of the video, but again, I'm not gonna be complaining about it. Like I said before, I also will be talking about the solution to fix this problem. Okay, that's what we're gonna be doing. So again, I am one of the lucky few, so I'll admit to this. Now, this conversation is gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the student debt, the way the college was set up because of the banks. What colleges do? I'm gonna give you a summary of it. What the colleges have done to gain themselves so much power and money, and became one of the strongest lobbyists out there. Also, we're really talking about the stupid decisions a lot of kids do about their debt. That's the sad part about it. And of course, fixing it. All right, fixing the debt. Like I said, that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of the video. So hope you can stay tuned for that. My solution to fixing it, which is not that hard, very not that hard. It's very easy, but again, the government do not want that power to go away, or they don't want that voter block to say, okay, we're gonna get you where this is gonna be not good for blah 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 and all that situations. Okay, that's what this is gonna be all about. So that said, let me give a synopsis of this and my reality of it. Okay. So I have 2 degrees. I have an associate's degree in architectural technology from Durham Tech Community College, which I am not against trade school. A lot of you people out there, I think trade school would be more beneficial for a lot of y'all, but I digress. And I went to NC State and got me a bachelor's in science in industrial designs. I have that. I do architecture and stuff like that for my 9 to 5 job. Design, drawing houses, lots, land, surveying, all kind of stuff. I have that for my 9 to 5 job. Other than running T3 Records, my company that I have now. I came out. I took a student loan out. And the reason I took that student loan out is because I coming from a different country to the state of North Carolina, I had me a scholarship because of the SAT scores, which we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that because colleges are trying to mess things up now. As you can see, I'm not gonna make the joke tonight, but I'm a black man. All right, I came from a different country, but I'm a black man. SAT scores and stuff like. So I had a degree. So when I came, I had a scholarship. I should say. I'm sorry. I came to America, and because I was out of state, I had to make up the difference from what the scholarship gave. So me and mom, we took out a student loan within the first year coming up here. But we know how much to took out, and I pay that thing back like that. I didn't want that to be a debacle onto my system. I paid it back instantly because I didn't want no problems. So I did pay it back. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough that I had to, it was thousands of dollars, but I paid it back. And then after that, I continued looking and scrounging, one working two jobs, working two jobs, and well, three jobs if you really think about it, because I was starting my company up, T3 Records, I was starting up, but I was working at the airport as a ramp agent and quickly got up into crew chief and all that stuff. And I was working at a gift shop and became a manager. That all that I was working out in UPS. Oh my goodness, early mornings. Like I said, I was working crazy amount of jobs. One, two. I also made sure I got scholarships. I looked around every place where they were going to give scholarships per school, and I got a couple of them because I was doing that. Thank goodness for that. But that's what I did. Okay. Now, granted, I started music, I made some money, and most of the music money I have paid off most of my college debt. So I graduated without student loan debt at all. And I was just one of those happy kids. So I was that. But I have a young sister. She went to school. It took her, which I have to say, it took almost 9 to 10 years to get the job that she wanted with her degree. But she went to school to get an art, graphic design degree. She she graduated with high honors, of course, from the Art Institute, which I'm proud of her for. But she incurred some college debt, and she has to pay that off. So I'm not trying to be like, oh man, this doesn't affect people in my family and stuff like that. No, even my girl Asa, she has student loan debt. She got to pay off as well too. So it's it's in my family in that regard, or my immediate family. We're gonna have to address all that stuff. Okay. So I understand people out there who have college loan debt. Okay, but I don't like how the media, and I don't like how a lot of these politicians phrasing a lot of crap, saying about, oh, well, I was 17, you couldn't do that. But again, here's the funny part about it. I'm not trying to make this in it, but this is directly makes sense to one of the stupid stuff that's going on right now. So let me get it straight. A child that's 12 years old, a child that's 5 years old, can say which gender they are, but oh, God forbid that they're 18 or 17. They don't know how to student loan debt work. They don't know how to take on debt. They're gonna sign their life. Oh, that's crazy. And again, it's funny as well too. You can do that and get $100,000 loans for student loans, but you can't say, "Hey, I got this job. I'm gonna do something. I want to open up a business. I can't sign for that." The banks is a part of the problem too, half and half, because the banks have not, the government is really the issue per se, but the banks is part of that too, which you will see. I'll break that down as well too. Okay, so the basically in 2010, this is why I said that the banks have private loans. You should know what you're taking out. That's just what it is. First of all, I think Econ 101 should be taught in school. Not this CTR and all this crazy and crazy math they're trying to tell you that it means nothing. No, I think it should be essential. I think you should graduate, because not many people came out of high school and started working, doing what I gotta do. Some became profitable, some did not came profitable. But hey, they did that. They should know how to balance a checkbook. They should know what compound interest is. They should know how to do regular trading on the stock market. They should understand how property tax and all this stuff. This all Econ 101 should be the thing. And the funny part about that, I'm making a joke about it, but it is true. AOC, Alexander Cortez, she got a bachelor's degree with high honors in economics, but she don't understand economics 101. So that means you can see how the colleges is perpetuating this messed up situation. Because how the heck you don't know Econ 101, but you got a degree in a high honors in that? That don't make no sense to me. But I digress. So we need that situation to be handled. Okay. If I have to tell anybody out there, look, if you're and I'm doing this, if I God bless me, I am blessed to have kids. I already done told Ursa when we get married, which is pretty soon. But I already told her already that I'm gonna look at things differently when it comes to our kids. I will set up a fund for my kids to get to go college if they want to. I'm not. I know you could do a 5, 2, or 9 and all that stuff. I kind of see. I want to see if I can control the money more, so I don't gotta whatever kind of those kind of things force you to go to college, and I want to make sure it goes to the right thing. But let's say this way: I must have a fun, but I'm not gonna do any extra push or extra accumulating of money unless the degree is worth it. A lot of these in 2010 to now, a lot of these degrees are worth nothing. They're worth nothing more than the paper I have here. They're nothing colleges. Your gender studies, your African studies, your all these women's studies, all these makeup terms and stuff that they make up, whatever. The only job you could get with that is what? Basically working in media, which you don't make that much money anyway because they want to perpetuate the lies, which I'll show you that too. And also get a job as teaching the crappy stuff in the schools. Like I said, art history, that's all good, but there's not many art history jobs out there. Why have that degree? I don't know. Liberal arts, it's a general thing, and I get it, but it doesn't make nothing. It doesn't make. Oh, sorry. It doesn't make sense to spend thousands of dollars for something that's so generic. Yes, I think you need to learn general information about the world. Again, I'll point that out in a little bit. But this these some of these degrees are stupid. I know a person who got what was it? And it's a great what they're doing with their life is good. They want to what do you call it? It's addiction counseling. That's great. Help people who have addiction, whatever, counseling, whatever. But why spend a lot of money on that on a degree that and addiction counseling doesn't pay that much money? You could have done that without the college degree and all that debt. And the next thing that happened is a lot of millennials are having kids now, and they're putting their bad judgment of money and using money to their kids, and their kids are getting way more debt now because it's ridiculous. It's just getting more and more stupid now. It really is. So we gotta understand that. Another thing too, a lot of these colleges are trying to a lot of these media things and trying to trick people. Bernie Sanders, AOC, all the people, free colleges. There's no such thing as free. Somebody has to pay it. And it's mostly taxpayers. And with this debt loan nonsense, that first of all, Biden talked a good game, but the problem is it's illegal. So it will be caught up in a lot of our court. So he can't stroke a pen take away the $10,000 or $20,000 in student loan debt. He cannot do that. It's true Congress. Congress has to do that, and he got to work his way on through. Can he does that? Can he go like that? Maybe, but just go with the presumption that it can go, just for the benefit of the doubt, the devil's advocate, I should say, and go that route. Okay, so we're going that route. Another thing that is a problem is from since 2010. And again, I'll show you all the receipts I have because I don't come here without my receipts. Um, a lot of the schools known because when government took over the student loan, they know they were guaranteed. So a lot of these colleges raised their debt. And that's why so raise their prices like crazy. Okay, they raise the prices like crazy because they know they're gonna get guaranteed money. So the college is also part of the problem too. It shouldn't take you $50,000 a year to learn some of the simplest things that you should learn. I'm serious. It's just ridiculous. And a lot of these student colleges people they don't like most of these people who go to these high up schools and whatever, they are rich people who could pay this stuff off. Their father and mothers are, but they don't want. But we're gonna eliminate that for people. We always say, "Oh, let's help the poor." Technically speaking, you're not helping the poor a lot because again, the taxes goes up. Most of the middle class gets screwed over. That's why I have my phrase: the rich will get rich, the poor will still beg for their crumbs, and the middle class will get effed over because it just is what it in that regard. But a lot of these teachers who are doing again gender studies, why how you just teaching these studies of theoretical, and I mean the most fringe theoretical theories out there, and it doesn't compute to average day lives. It doesn't. That's why you hear this thing. That's why you have all the woke stuff happening. Cause these a lot of these people and teachers, and most of these are white liberal women. And you know how I said about those women, of course. But those women, they want to feel vindicated that, oh, my degree and my teaching is something important. So they come up with all the crazy thoughts that don't make no sense. Again, a lot of these people do not have the thinking matter to figure out what's going on. Because remember, I told you, people are stupid, individuals smart. Some of these people are not the smartest individuals at all. And that's the scary thing about that for real. So you have that situation. But again, I want to talk to everybody out there and let's have a conversation about this. Again, comment in the comment section below. Tomorrow we'll handle the comment section really. Hope you guys can enjoy the rest of the show that I want to talk about. And again, shout outs. I am gonna call out my if I think I remember. I'll put it in a raw file. If you go to Project Open Mic on YouTube, there's a thing called a raw file where I take some of these videos or whatever. I'll put these videos in there. Again, I use the videos. You're gonna see the commercial, whatever, because I use it so they could get the credit of it. But shout outs to John Stossel. Shout outs to Andre from Project from Don't Walk Productions, of course, so we could understand it, and Brandon Tatum because I'm gonna use a little clip for funniness in there. Okay, so let's talk about the student loan debt situation. And here comes the receipts. So first, I want to show you this. First thing I want to show you is this. I've shown this before, but I want y'all to see it for yourselves. All right. On the screen, you should see the U.S. debt clock. That's what you're seeing. Okay. And right here, I just switched anything. Got you. Sorry. Yeah, the U.S. debt clock. So let's see. Right here, as you can see right now that I'm pointing out, federal student loans, which are backed by the government, private student loans, which are non-federal loans made by the banks, and source and parent, such as Parent Plus loans. For the source Federal Reserve, we have $1.7 trillion. $1.7 trillion in debt. That's what's going on right now. That's a lot of money. $1.7 trillion in debt. Student loans is crazy. The average student loan owns $40,150. And that's from the highest people who have it and the lowest people who have it. Now, I'm not saying all student loans are bad because, again, if you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be medical science and all the stuff like that. Yes, you're going to take up some debt and hope it's a job that we should pay people that they could knock the debt out quickly. That is what I want. That right there, I see going to college and doing stuff. If you're going to go to college, my thing is go to college for degrees that make sense and have an earning of what your degree is. You should not go to school. Okay, I'll give an example. It should not. If your debt comes out to be $30,000, you should have a job that makes $30,000. So you get what I'm trying to say. Majority of the majority of the debt. I'm saying not doctors and stuff is different, Medicals is different. I understand that, so that's a different story. But if you're going to go to college for most things, if you have a college degree that's going to give you 50, should give you a job. If you have $50,000 debt, your first year should be at least around $50,000, and you make sure you take some money and pay that sucker off. That's me. That's all I'm saying. That'd be word wise, a wise word to the concept of what I'm trying to say. Sorry about that. Okay. So I just wanted to point it out. We are right now at 30 trillion, 861 billion dollars. I'm not gonna read all of it because it goes so fast. That's the debt we are at right now. And we're spending like, and here we go again with that. Let's look, please look at where I'm let me double check to make sure my hands is moving the right spot. Okay. We're spending, as of now, with the Biden administration, we're spending basically $6 trillion. What's the revenue? $2.2 trillion. We spend more than we take in. That's a big problem. And I don't get why we let that go. That's a crazy problem. Nobody could live their life like that. You spend more than you take in. And we're not spending like a little bit of money to take care of. It's not like saying, oh, we got $2 trillion, we're spending $3 trillion. No, we're spending more than 3 times than what we take in. Am I surprised by that? Not really. That's how crazy our debt is going out of, which is funny enough. For people who didn't know, who watch Temple FM, people know this. When I did my radio show back in 2012 until 2015, and a real live radio station, a live show that I did, that was broadcast. This is coming off the back of Radio T3. This is what this platform was basically set up on. I predicted how much money we will be after Obama got out of office. I was correct. I predicted that basically to the $1 trillion. I said it won't be 21 trillion. I was correct. And here's a shocking number to most of you people. We had a surplus back in 2002. We had a surplus. Before in 2000. I'm wrong about that. In 2000, we had a surplus of $8 billion. We went from $8 billion to, I think it was like $3 trillion in a couple of years. Now, granted, some of it was because of the September 11 and the craziness that happened, and I can accept some of the COVID stuff that happened as well too, how it goes on. But we just spend money like it's water, basically. And the thing about it is, we can't find more water to replace the water that we're using. This is getting really ridiculous. But again, I just wanted you guys to see on the screen how much money, how much debt we have. Okay, $1.7 trillion. Now the thing about it is, which is it's kind of weird. And let me see something here. See, you're not, for some reason it's static. But if you go to usdebtclock.org, it's that these numbers are flying by the fastest of number. These things are like, you'll be surprised how these numbers change so quickly. Let me see if we can read over. You'll see a different number, a little ending number. So that's what it is. It's just ridiculous. So I just want you guys to actually see the money that we're doing. As you can see below that, the actual U.S. debt, the U.S. federal spending, 5.98. Like I said, the deficit is 1.5 trillion. All that regard, but again, the revenue is just it cannot keep up. It can't keep up with all this craziness. So, all right. So I wanted to get that out of the way. So, all right, kids, are you ready to learn about how to be a responsible adult and not do stupid stuff? Okay. Well, Uncle Tig is going to show you how to do it. Okay? We're going to show you how to do it. All right. Like I said, get yourself a degree that makes sense. A degree in STEM or get, if you're gonna go college, a degree in STEM is a good degree. Most majority of those degree makes money. That you don't, that if you are gonna take a student loan, that you should be able to pay stuff back out. But there are a lot of jobs that you do not need to go to college for. You might just need to go to a trade school to learn a trade, or to a community college. Nothing wrong with community college, okay? To get these degrees, so you can learn how to do something. I'm like, I know an HVAC person who makes $100,000 a year. I know a person who do welding, a female who makes $126,000 a year. I know a person who also is a welder and makes $150,000 a year. He went to no schools to do that. He went to a trade school, learned how to do it. Boom, bam, boom. I know an electrician who makes $95,000 a year. Heck, shout out to Khalil, who's a friend of the show. This kid went from last year, from working at DoorDash for just making a little bit of money here and there, to now making a job that makes over 120K. You can do it. You don't need to go no colleges for none of this, for a lot of these crazy stuff. Now, he went to college. Do not get me wrong on that. But my point is, you go for jobs that makes money like that, like he did. Other people, the other careers and stuff, you gotta be careful about that. Okay. So we'll talk about at the end about the student forgiveness that Joe Biden wants to do. I'm gonna build up to the nonsense, okay? But I will hit you on certain things about that. So, with that said, let's go to. I want to show. Let me see here. Okay, I want to talk about how some of these colleges. Remember, I told you, because the student loan is backed by the government. You know what? Let's talk about certain things. Okay. Because the student loan is backed by the government, a lot of these colleges are spending crazy money that they should not be spending because they know it is guaranteed. Here's an example of this.
Want to go to college? It's expensive. A year at Harvard now costs more than $50,000. State schools often cost $30,000.
The politicians in there say, we can make college affordable for everyone. But no, they can't.
No, can't.
They've tried. Federal spending on college aid has doubled, then doubled again. But as government aid grew, so did tuition. Over the past 30 years, inflation was 160%. We're upset that health care costs grew more, 400%. But college tuition rose 750%.
The first thing you're struck by is our jungle lobby, banyan trees and all of the trappings of a jungle retreat.
One place your money goes is to luxuries that entice students and their money. This is the rec center at the University of Missouri.
From there, you'll find yourself in the jungle gym, complete with the torches, to welcome you into our cardio gallery, not to be outdone by Tiger Lair. Tiger Lair is our spinning studio, and it is outstanding, especially with its mural work done by that international artist, Lampo.
What the fuck?
Why do you need a mural done by some expensive person to raise up the prices of college? As I said, because they got guaranteed money coming in, they got that. They're gonna literally. That's how the tuitions go up, because they know they could do it.
And then Zoo Life, which is our in-house day spa.
It's no surprise that tuition's high.
And we just keep feeding the problem.
Naomi Riley wrote a book about how colleges waste money.
However, colleges decide to hike their prices. The federal government says, okay, we'll contribute a little bit more.
Today, almost half of college students get federal aid.
And funny about it, as she just said, which is good. I like how she pointed out. That is exactly true. You're like, oh, wow, we're going to give you more money. And then the college is like, oh, it's guaranteed. So we're going to raise the prices. Okay, it's double, as John Stosser just said. Then you can go up a little bit more. We're going to give you more money. It's a self-perpetuating problem that keeps on happening. It's getting ridiculous.
We've got to make sure that education is affordable and available to everybody who wants to go.
How about you just government get out of college degrees for sure?
People are looking to the government to help them out of this mess, but the government got them into this mess.
Thank you.
Because the government pays for everything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the cost of colleges is not just this number that comes out of thin air. Colleges know that they can keep increasing the cost because the government says we will keep paying for it.
Exactly. You see that, and I'm just making sure you guys are hearing this. That's what the problem is.
So if the government said, we are not going to keep making up the difference no matter what you add to your costs, the cost would start to stop or they would start to go down.
Because a lot of these kids will say, well, we can't afford college, and then college will be like, okay, we're losing money, we're losing stuff. That's what the problem will fix itself in that regard.
But progressives say government should spend more.
There's no evidence
Why?
that college loans or any type of student aid increases tuition at public universities.
Chick, are you out your flipping mind? There are multiples. And again, if I'm guaranteed to get a certain amount of, here's a study that's helped you out. It's called Human Nature. If I'm guaranteed I'm gonna get $300 a month, I know I ain't gotta worry about it because the $300 will keep on coming. So I could spend or go a little higher than my means because I know I have this $300 that's gonna come in no matter what. That's not good.
Oh, come on. If you give people money, tuition
Goes up.
It doesn't actually. And we have
Tamara
a pretty
Drought
good-
works
This is a crazy chick. Am I surprised? Not really.
for Demos, a think tank that President Obama helped found.
Why am I not surprised? Is again, I don't want to put this on a political, but it has to point out the progressive and most Democrats are the one who cause majority of these problems. I know you shocking, ain't it? I know, right? Republicans have their problems, and I've called and for people who watch this video for the first time, I have called out Republicans for their problem too. I call out government. I don't like government in most situations, Republican or Democrat. But I call out the one that does the stuff that affects you and me more than anything.
Colleges have been forced to really cut to the bone. If you look at what has happened after
Cut
this
to the
recession,
bone?
absolutely, state funding has been steadily and pretty aggressively cut.
What do you mean cut? It's gone up from $55 billion to
Well,
almost
$80 billion.
$80 billion. Up isn't a cut.
It has gone up in absolute terms because there are a lot more students that are being educated.
But-
Holy smokes.
No, son of a bitch!
There's another thing about college people I don't like. And I'm a college graduate. Remember, just say that. But college people, including professors, they love to use their wordsmith. That doesn't mean that wordsmith that turns into word salad. That means nothing. Nothing. And you're going to see that as well tonight.
So
There
of
aren't
course
that many
that we're
more
spending more
students.
students that are being educated.
But
so
there
of
aren't
course
that many
that we're
more
spending
students.
more.
Do you liberals live in a
But
fantasy land?
there are a lot more students, John.
But
if you
not
look
enough
at
to make up with all the money you're throwing at them.
per student amount of financial aid, particularly
up.
Today, students get an average $12,000 in federal and state aid, up from $7,000 in 1987.
Good morning, Mr. Vice President.
At least Vice President Biden understands that
Oh. It's funny. Again, remember, this is an older clip. This is how these politicians change so you get the power. That's why I said at the beginning of this show, they do this. They don't want to fix it because they will lose a voting block or the power. Let's listen.
subsidies raise prices.
How do you feel about the idea that government subsidies by artificially increasing the availability of student loans is at least partially responsible for rising tuition costs?
Government subsidies have impacted upon rising tuition costs, and it's a conundrum here.
It sure is. Colleges now advertise lobster dinners and expensive dorms with luxury pools.
Pools and spas and fancy gym facilities and sushi for lunch. Isn't that where you'd like to take your next vacation? No, They have every college you go to, and you say, well, why do you spend so much money on this? And they say, well, we have to compete with the college down the street.
A terrific climbing tower, 42 feet, with a variety of lights on it so we can simulate different times of the day.
So the administrator says, good, I'll build a new rock wall.
I would love to know where all of these rock walls are.
Okay, I'll show you. More than 600 colleges now have rock walls.
Bring the receipts.
What's important to any leisure resort and what's important to any red-blooded American college student? Spring break. Give our Tigers spring break every time they step in to the student recreation complex.
When you go on a tour here, they definitely throw that in your face, and buy one a day, it's completely awesome.
Students will come to us and say, this is what sealed the deal. It used to be reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Oh no! God forbid that's what it used to be, to learn to be smart in this world, but it ain't that no more.
And well, we're now the 4th R, recreation.
Pretty much every parent that I have on my tour is pretty much like, I want to be back in school, or how do I get back to going to school?
We are putting colleges on notice.
Now even progressives are upset about the rising cost of college.
Again, this was 2010, so not really know, but of course it's lies. I know what John Stoss is doing, I'm not saying that, but yeah, progressives don't care.
We can't just keep on subsidizing skyrocketing tuition.
But in that
and this is the part that makes me kind of angry of Obama and other stuff. Why when I voted for 2008, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And in 2002, I was like, oh, hell no. You talked the good talk in 2008, 2009, and then you went the total opposite of what you said you're going to do.
exact same speech, the president also said,
My administration is increasing federal student aid so more students can afford college.
What the fuck?
So stupid that sound. And then it goes back to the beginning part of this video where the lady said, you increase it and then they're gonna guarantee it. Then they're gonna increase it again because it's not affordable.
Don't politicians see the irony?
No.
No.
No, they don't. They don't. They don't see the irony at all. At all, at all, at all. At all. Now, before we go into more of people making dumb decisions, let's talk about what's happening to our kids now, okay? I want to talk about that's happening to our kids now. Okay? Excuse me. Apologize for that. We have the 15,872 people in the building. Thank you guys. Again, hey, share this video. Like, subscribe. Go to YouTube. Like, subscribe. If you're on, if also you can like, subscribe also on Spotify. Again, when this video gets uploaded, but share this to all the people out there so they can understand about this student debt problem. Okay, so here's the problem I have with most of this. A lot of the kids out there are not getting. They don't have the like she was saying. Oh, recreation, but they're not getting the reading, writing, and arithmetic. I want to play you. It's gonna be a hard thing to hear, but I want to play you. People asking kids, college kids, at a very prestigious college, UCLA, and let's see how. Why I said people are stupid? Let's see this.
People on the beach. Looks like it's Santa Monica, Venice, because I was just there a couple weeks ago with my son. And he's asking them extraordinarily simple questions. And this is how it went.
How many stars are on the United States flag?
103.
103?
32.
What ocean is on the east side of the United States?
Ocean. Google it.
That's another thing that's wrong with these kids. They have technology to answer a lot of the questions, but the mental fortitude are very weak. The stars, okay, it's 50, but people know that. You should know that. These are simple things. You don't know what is the ocean to the east of the United States of America?
Holy Jesus.
Nani? I'm telling you. And this again, UCLA, where you're paying close to $70,000 a year to go to this crazy ass college.
You guys know this.
I know this. I don't know this.
What country is the Queen of England from?
I'm not a policy guy. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I really don't know.
Just take a guess. Like, what country is the Queen of England from?
What the fuck?
When the answer's in the freaking question, you know you're stupid. And these are college kids. And again, this is what we're teaching them. We could teach them all about 52 different genders and all the other dumb stuff that is irrelevant to their life. But they don't even know the Queen of England is in charge of England. Oh my God.
What's the capital of the United States?
There's a capital? What? Let's see.
Take a guess.
I don't know. Probably California.
Yeah, that's right.
It is?
No.
The United States, do we know?
Stop! I knew he was gonna embarrass us. Wait, I don't even want to think because I don't want to sound bad.
Well, just...
There's no capital of the United States. Is there no capital?
Correct.
Right?
No.
Oh!
You guys are UCLA
We literally
students?
go to UCLA. Yeah.
Who was the first president of the United States?
Abraham Lincoln?
Can you name the three Kardashian sisters?
Kim, Courtney, and Chloe.
What are the three Kardashian sisters' names?
Courtney, Kim, and Chloe. Chloe, Courtney, and Courtney. Yeah.
Bonus points for the brother?
Robert.
The Kardashians' brother's name. What? What are the Kardashian sisters' names?
I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie. Don't know.
That one, you get respect from me on that one.
So they know about Kim Kardashian, and I don't even know that. I know Kim Kardashian and Chloe maybe. I know those, but I see no answer now with that. But I didn't give a damn. I know about Rob because I did this video about Black China, how she was in money grubbing little whatever. And God bless me, Rob is not that stupid as I thought he would have been. But they know that. But they don't know about the Atlantic Ocean. They don't know that the Queen of England is in charge of England. They don't know Washington D.C. is the capital of America. They don't even know George Washington. These are simple things. Let me let it go a little bit more.
I found this amusing, and I don't actually. It pains me and scares me. The two girls in the middle that not only didn't know the capital of the United States, but didn't know there's a capital. Students at the University of California, Los Angeles.
They got into the UC system. I know lots of really bright kids who couldn't get a spot.
Well, they're pretty. Maybe their parents have money.
That doesn't matter at all, theoretically.
Hilarious. You shouldn't be able to get out of high school without knowing what the capital of the United States is, I wouldn't think, but they're in one of your more prestigious universities in the world.
And the point of me pointing that out is because, like I said, they're in the prestigious university in the world, as they stated, which is true. And these are morons. Now, they might know something specifically we're going to school to do. But again, most of these people are going for degrees that makes no logical sense. And they don't make money. And they're the ones who keep on BSing and bitching about, oh, we need to get more money. We need to that. Oh, why should I get universal income because I can't do a job? I'm lazy as F. So let's go back to one of those situations I'm talking about where you're like, wait a minute, hold up. These people are what now? These are the degrees that some of y'all are taking. So I'm gonna play you some. We'll go to Andre talking about some of the degrees. Like I said again, get good degrees, not them crappy degrees.
Student debt crisis in the United States. College tuition costs have risen 250% in the last 10 years, and according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, student loan providers don't always give accurate and timely information about how best to pay off loans. But ultimately, the main cause of the student debt crisis are the borrowers themselves. Take, for example, Taylor Smith, who has a bachelor's degree in political science and government from Texas A&M.
To pay for Texas A&M, Smith worked full-time throughout college.
Oh, I feel so sad for her. Good God. My sister had to do that. I had to do that. Oh, for all the people out there who had to do what she did. Oh, it's tragic, tragic.
She also cobbled together 11 student loans.
Probably graduated with about $53,000 in student debt. That number hit me for the first time my last semester of college.
How the hell again, I'm going through a situation right now. I'm not going to be specific, but I'm going through a situation now in the past as well too, where it was hard for me, even though I have great credit score and all that stuff. They gave me hell's the hoop to jump through to get loans and stuff. And this woman got 11 loans. How that work? How that make sense?
And it was the first time I saw the full balance, and I had a panic attack immediately.
She took out 11 student loans and was surprised at the ramifications of taking out 11 student loans.
You know, just thinking like, oh my God, I just got myself in $50,000 of debt.
That is a lot of money, but it's not terrible if your first year's salary is equal to how much you owe in student debt.
Yeah. And that's what I talked about before. That's the point I'm talking about. If you have that, you could see, okay, I get it. I can make the money. I can make a
So if you owe $50,000, you should make at least $50,000 in your first year.
Yeah.
Then she had to quit her first job, her dream job, registering voters in Colorado.
Really? Your dream job, which doesn't need a degree, which is free? You don't need to go to college to do that? What the heck?
So she went to college for political science and government, and her dream job is to work at a grassroots organization whose goal is to get millennials to register to vote? That's not even close to a 50 grand a year job. Not to mention that you can do all that without a political science degree. And now she works as a director of sales and account management at a tech company.
Oh, okay, good. The degree didn't mean jack squat, but at least you have a good job.
Glad to see she's putting that $50,000 degree to good use.
In addition to working full-time at a Maryland middle school, she now works 2 other part-time jobs, running an after-school book club, singing in a church choir, and yet earned only $46,000 total last year, while still owing more than $60,000.
You mean?
Okay, I got a question. If I'm singing in a church choir, it's because I'm singing. I want to know what church you're going to, ma'am, because I didn't think they paid you. Unless they're making albums. Okay, I'll say this. If they're making albums and stuff, they're doing albums and stuff, I get that part. But if they're not making albums to give you money like that, most people who sing in the church try to sing for free, but whatever. And you $60,000? What was your degree in?
You mean to tell me that running an after-school book club and singing in a choir didn't bump her up to 6 figures? Color me surprised.
How old was I when I signed my first promissory note? 17. Am I really going to read said promissory note?
You should.
From beginning to end?
You should. Or your parents should help you. This is also a fault failure on your parents.
Or understand it.
Or understand it even if I had read it.
Starting to see a...
Wait, again. I know when I signed my student loan, and I was 17 as well as you, when I know that I borrow money, I gotta pay money back. Wow, what a strange concept.
Pattern here.
Jessica Love Jordan is in a similar situation. She started college late and is now working on finishing her master's in addiction counseling. She juggles school, work, and being a single parent, and sometimes the debt feels too much.
Now and again, when I look at the statement and see how much I actually have to pay back, it's almost suffocating.
When she graduates, she can expect to make about $33,000 annually as an addiction counselor. Her debt will be about $90,000.
What the fuck? Okay, what you're doing, again, is not a bad thing. And I'm happy that you're doing it. Help the people out there who needs that, because we do need that, including in California with all the addiction going on over there with all the drugs and amphetamine and everything. But I got a question, though. The most you will make is $30,000. And you got a $90,000 student loan debt? Why? And it's even going to be harder because you have a kid. Holy crap. The people. Here's another fact for a lot of people out there, young kids. If you share this to the younger kids, here's a lot of fact out there. Do not have children when you're going to college. Majority of people who don't have children in college could pay off their loans and have significantly less stress and debt. Okay? Graduate high school, don't have kids in college. That help you tremendously. In other words, protect yourself. And like Andrew say, yes, it's just stupid.
Now, I'm not saying that being an addiction counselor isn't a noble profession, but she's paying $90,000 in tuition to effectively make $15.86 an hour. She's never, ever going to be able to pay that off, especially with her being a single mom.
Jordan Heft. He's been trying to get a more manageable payment plan. He studied film, but couldn't get a job in the industry. He now owes $100,000 in private student loans, but was paying interest only.
I could do, you know what?
Until recently.
I wonder why he couldn't get a job in the industry, because those drawings are fantastic. But seriously, I really hope he's not bringing that portfolio around on job interviews. Wow.
A few months after the end of her academic career, Nina denounces a system of which she says she's a victim.
That's another word I hate. I really don't like that word. You're a victim. Why are you a victim, Nina?
The diploma was supposed to open the gilded doors to a career that hasn't materialized.
Nina went to the University of Maryland and has a bachelor's degree in Persian studies.
What? You went to... that specific of a job? This is, again, this is just also like women's studies, all the other studies. It's not a good thing.
It's a specialized field, and if you have a bachelor's and a master's, you can be very valuable to the US government and have a job for life.
I've spent over...
As if you're capable of knowing how to do that.
$129,000.
$129,000 and you ain't got no job? What?
On my tuition, not including the textbooks, not including the time.
Hold on. $129,000. Okay, to what? Studies which you can learn and go to good. You have not even have most of the stuff you could do by just going to YouTube and learning the history and stuff. I bet I could learn more about studies than what you did in college. The only difference is, I hope you speak the language. I have to get Rosetta.
Not including the energy, not including the jobs that I had to take, and I don't know if I do it all over again.
What? If you just complain about a lot of stuff and then you just say that you don't know if you want to do it over again, the answer should be no. If I had a chance to do this all over again, I wouldn't do it.
You don't know if you would do it all over again?
Thank you.
If you can't find a job and you claim that you're a victim, why would you even consider making the same choices? And if it couldn't get worse, Nina lives with her mother, who also has tens of thousands of dollars in student debt.
Motherfucker. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
So the mother goes back to what I said earlier. The mother is basically teaching her daughter the same bad habits. That's why I said the parents is a part of the problem too.
Together, they owe $150,000.
Because I'll say this: if my son or daughter say, "Oh, hey, Dad, I want to do this," I'm like, "Oh, Well, you doing it on your own, son or daughter. Are you gonna help me? No. I'm gonna teach you all the time. Get a job that's needed, not a job that's not needed, like crap like that. No, I'm not helping you on that. Now again, I don't know if if my wife to be Acer will be like, hey, I will do cool with that, blah blah. I don't know, but I know I'm gonna stick firm to that point.
Talk about the blind leading the blind. Nina's mother is in a slightly better position though, because she works for the State Department and has a good shot at being eligible for public service loan forgiveness after 10 years. But like many people having problems with student debt, it's not their fault.
Nina's mother says state governments prefer to see education as a commodity rather than as a public service.
Maybe you should not.
How does that happen? It's not like Maryland is all of a sudden unable to meet those accommodations or not wanting to provide services to students for the long haul. This is the future. These kids are the future for the state.
Yeah. Tax incomes that they're gonna be paying because you made stupid decisions.
But only if they continue to work and live in the state. After this news segment aired, Nina left Maryland to go teach English in China. So
wow, what a waste. The poor children.
much for being the future of the state.
I am currently a teacher in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I teach 4th grade.
My name is Brittany. I went to Tufts University. I studied drama and communications, and I owe $118,000 in student loans.
$118,000.
No, son of a bitch!
$1,000 for a drama degree. I hope it's going to good use.
I'm a freelance production assistant. I also work at a dance studio as a receptionist, and I also work for a temp agency.
You can't make this stuff up.
The problem here is that you can spend $100,000 or $100 million on a drama degree, and there is no guarantee that you're ever going to become a working actress, let alone a famous one. Moreover, the federal government should not be giving out student loans for people to major in things like drama or film studies.
Thank you.
Every day I call Congress.
Senator Feinstein's office.
Hi, my name is Brittany King, and I'm a constituent from Los Angeles. And I was calling to know, what are you guys doing about student loan reform?
Aw, that's cute. She thinks that the government is going to pass comprehensive student debt reform.
I was calling to know, what are you guys doing about student loan reform?
Well, Brittany, since you didn't become the next Regina King, we're gonna forgive your student debt and hand it off to the American taxpayer. Sound good? You think I'm kidding, but that's what some presidential candidates like Senator Elizabeth Warren plan.
Oh, we're gonna have a little funny thing about this. Again, I will play a video of the things that the media do not want you to get out.
To do.
That's why I'm calling for universal free college and the cancellation of student loan debt of up to $50,000 for 42 million Americans.
But what about the students who borrowed money, went to school, and paid back their student loans in full? Why do these people now get to pay for everyone else's free college?
And that's gonna come back again. Yes, she's correct.
That's not fair.
Nah.
And thankfully, there are candidates like Pete Buttigieg who disagree with Senator Warren. Americans who have a college degree earn more than Americans who don't. As a progressive, I have a hard time getting my head around the idea of a majority who earn less because they didn't go to college, subsidizing a minority who earn more because they did.
And you know what?
And
that makes sense. The problem is, though, the further he became close to the president in the presidential run, he reversed most of the crap, and it's good for universal income.
He's right.
Surprise.
Furthermore, why should taxpayers get to subsidize Taylor's political science degree when she didn't even use it? Or subsidize Nina's Persian studies degree when she's not using it and working in another country? Or Jordan's degree in film studies? Seriously, what the hell is this?
You know what? Let's continue that one out because I do want to use that because it is crazy. Let me see if I have that. Let's continue the trend, shall we? Let's continue, Dren. I don't think it's that one. It's this one here. Yeah, that's this one here. Useless master's degree in film. Since we just talked about film study.
Biden. On July 7, 2021, he visited McHenry Community College in Crystal Lake, Illinois.
I remember I played a clip of Biden saying we should stop the student loans, blah, blah, blah. He said it with John Stossel. That was 2010. Of course, what did he do?
No relation. And spoke about raising taxes on the wealthy. Well, at least he tried to.
1%, if we just, 1%, the folks in the top 1%.
Sorry, Democrats, all sales are final.
If they just paid their personal income tax the same as it was under President George W. Bush, that would generate $13 billion a year.
You know what would be more smart to you, sir? How about you lower the taxes and let jobs get more jobs so you could spread it because you have more people in the job market to tax. That makes sense. But nah, y'all say the tax cuts doesn't help nothing.
It would raise the tax from what it is now, 35 to 39%.
First of all, the top federal tax rate is not 35%, it is 37%. Joe Biden got something wrong. I know you're shocked. Second, Joe Biden is saying that during the Bush administration, the top tax rate was 39%, which is technically true. But also, he is implying that it was something that Bush implemented, which is not so true. From 1993 to 2000, the top tax rate was 39.6%. President Bush signed the Economic Growth and Tax Relief Reconciliation Act of 2001. This brought the top tax rate down to 39.1% in 2001 and 38.6% in 2002. 2 years later, he signed the Jobs and Growth Tax Relief Reconciliation Act of 2003, which brought the top tax rate down to 35%. And that bill, part of the Bush tax cuts, set those taxes in stone for 10 years. And guess when they expired? During the Obama administration, where the top tax rate was 39.6%. Now, Joe Biden could have said, if they just paid their personal income tax the same as it was under President Barack and me, but he didn't, because he's trying to fool you into thinking that 39.6% was like bipartisan or something.
The same as it was under President George Bush.
Now, old Joe is talking about raising taxes in front of a bunch of community college students because he's married to the world's greatest community college teacher ever, Dr. Jill Biden.
You know, as the First Lady, I'm Jill Biden's husband.
I think you mean Dr. Jill Biden's husband, you sexist.
As Jill would say, and she's a full-time community college professor while being the First Lady.
Jill's the second lady, the top tax rate is 35%. Clearly, Joe thinks it's 2012.
She often says any nation that out-educates us is going to outcompete us.
But the question is, who exactly are we worried about outcompeting us? I mean, but whatever, Joe Biden has the solution.
I want to add 2 years of free community college for everyone.
Here's a question. If you give everyone in the United States 2 years of free junior college, is it really going to make us #1 in the world? Spoiler alert, it won't.
And we can afford it. I'll tell you how.
Because it's free, right?
I'll tell you how. That could boost earnings of high school graduates with low-wage jobs by nearly $6,000 a year on average. The average annual cost of a 2-year degree in Illinois is $4,200.
And that's not true. According to Community College Review, the average community college tuition cost in Illinois for in-state students is $7,932 per year. And according to a recent survey of tuition data conducted by collegecalc.org, of the 48 community colleges and universities in Illinois, the average annual in-state 2-year college tuition was $9,222. But let's think about this for a minute. Biden is saying that if you attend and graduate from a 2-year community college, you will likely make more money. And that's the thing that benefits the student in the long term, right? So logically, it should be the responsibility of the student to pay for that investment on their future, not the American taxpayer.
And That's why I agree. I'm with that.
And I should also point out that according to Community College Review, the average college completion rate in Illinois is 30%.
What? 30%?
And at McHenry County College, where Biden was speaking, the completion rate is only 29%. So that means if the majority of students won't graduate, then we're just throwing money away.
Exactly.
And since it's being offered for free, that means it's of less value. And that means that you're likely to see completion rates go down even more. But you know, nothing like a return on investment, huh?
Oh, good grief. Just stupid stuff. That makes no sense, of course.
Speaking of college, the Wall Street Journal published a fascinating article titled Financially Hobbled for Life, the Elite Master's Degrees That Don't Pay Off. Columbia and other top universities push master's programs that fail to generate enough income for graduates to keep up with six-figure federal loans. Recent film program graduates of Columbia University who took out federal student loans had a median debt of $181,000.
Oh, no. A median debt of 180. Holy smokes.
Yet 2 years after earning their master's degrees, half of the borrowers were making less than $30,000 a year.
Exactly.
Although some grads are faring a little better, including Zach Morrison, a filmmaker with a master's in directing and screenwriting. He claims to make $30,000 to $50,000 a year.
Oh, you're an ass. You are a total ass, Andrew.
There's always those 2 a.m. panic attacks where you're thinking, how the hell am I ever going to pay this off? Zach also worries about whether or not he'll be able to buy tickets for Springsteen on Broadway, and even has 4 devices waiting in a virtual queue.
Okay, I got a question. Why do you have 4 devices trying to get a ticket for Springsteen, which is crazy, but you want to know how to... Is your spending habit just as bad as your... Oh my goodness.
And in case you were wondering, yes, he was able to snag a pair of $100 tickets. Congrats, dude. At least he's being serious about paying off that debt, huh? So, what did he get out of the film program at Columbia? Not much, apparently.
So I think film education is broken into one of 2 different categories: the theory side and the production side. On the theory side, you watch a lot of Orson Welles and Jean-Luc Godard and movies that were made dozens of years ago that are stylistically irrelevant in 2020 today.
So the best thing that Morrison can say about Orson Welles and Jean-Luc Godard, 2 of the greatest filmmakers in the history of cinema, is that they are stylistically irrelevant. Unlike Zach's video, which is loaded with lazy jump cuts and recorded in his parents' living room, located in Margaritaville, apparently.
And on the production side, you talk about cameras and lenses, and you make a lot of student films.
So basically, Zach's schooling consisted of watching a lot of movies that he didn't appreciate and likely didn't understand, and made a lot of student films. And now, Zach basically makes student films for a living. For BuzzFeed.
You can't make this stuff up.
I lived a healthy life sometimes. Now I'm wondering what it's like sometimes.
Well,
now I see why. Now I see why you got an extra $5,000 for.
At least that master's is being put to good use.
Fast food.
Next, there's Grant Bromley of Knoxville, Tennessee, who graduated from Columbia in 2018 with a master's in film and media studies. According to the Journal, he had hoped to advance into academia after graduating in 2018. Instead, he moved back home with his parents in Knoxville, Tennessee for a year, taking a job at the TJ Maxx, where he had worked as a teenager.
I can't knock it. Like I said, my sister worked on McDonald's, so I get it. Tough, but again, things happen. So I give that. I'm not gonna hit the guy for that. But he didn't. My sister didn't accumulate $150,000 though. Thank God.
He now works at a TJ Maxx near Chattanooga. For now, Mr. Bromley earns around $16 an hour and can't afford to pay down his loan balance, which is $156,000, including undergraduate debt and interest.
We really need to teach these kids about these interests, man. Again, I have a fix to all this.
It's a number so large that it doesn't necessarily feel real, he said. So Grant can't afford to pay down his loan balance, but he can afford to be working on his third feature film in his spare time. And maybe that's the only way he'll ever be able to pay off his debt. With that master's degree, he certainly has the capacity to write and direct a film that will bring in the big bucks, right?
Yep.
So let's get an idea of his work and take a look at the trailer from his second feature.
It's ridiculous. I'm trying. I'm trying really hard, and I don't think it's worth it. I mean, he's an egomaniac. He's a narcissist. He was never like that in school. I just don't know when it happened. I don't know what made him be like this.
I can't tell if the background noise completely overpowering the dialogue is a technical issue or an artistic choice.
That is some awesome film there, right there.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
Yeah, he's never gonna pay off that debt.
These brilliant diamonds were not dug up from here, but were created here.
And finally, there's Patrick Clement, a 41-year-old who graduated in 2020 with an MFA in film from Columbia and owes $364,000 in federal loans.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
350,000?
In response to being featured in the article, Clement tweeted the following. I spent 6 months doing my due diligence before applying to my MFA. I'm not surprised, regretful, nor financially hobbled for life by my student debt. This is good so far. He's not a victim. He knew what he was getting into, and he seems to be owning it.
Good.
I understood, as everyone who wants to attend a creative MFA, it is an investment in your creative career, not an investment in your financial future. Uh-oh. If you want to make money, do anything else. Anything. Yeah, I don't like where this is going.
Neither
As
am
a
I.
society, we should be looking at creatives with a different value metric. Creative endeavors enrich society. Oh!
And this is where we get a lot of these progressives and idiots from. Go back to what I said earlier. Because a degree can't find you nothing, they're going to go and do other stuff that don't make no money. And they're the ones who are the first one to call out, hey, yeah, forgive the debt. We need to whatever. I mean, the first part I agree with him, but it's just.
Oh, don't you see, guys? Patrick's doing us a favor. He's enriching society. Yeah, someone's full of themselves. When my loans are forgiven in about 15 years, I'll pay more taxes than Walmart, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, Trump, Apple, Elon Musk, and Michael Bloomberg combined.
Again, like I said before, these people are the idiots. You're not paying none of that stuff, you moron. All those people pay billions of dollars. You're never going to touch $1 billion. Never let's touch $1 million. Hell, you can't even pay off your $350,000 debt.
Elon Musk and Michael Bloomberg combined. So let's get this straight. Clement's justification for taking out a loan for $360,000 and not paying it back in full is because of corporations and Orange Man bad. Got it. And thanks to the federal loan system being completely broken, he's probably gonna get away with it. And spoiler alert, you'll be the one who ultimately helps pay for it.
Exactly. That's the point I'm pushing on. And of course, to finish off, I see all this was men. Now I gotta go to the ladies. I want to make sure I'm an equal opportunity receipt guy. All right. So we're gonna talk about the ladies and see their definition of how to do stuff.
Roughly 45 million Americans owe over $1.6 trillion in student debt. So back in March, to capitalize on this crisis, BuzzFeed released a video that included these two people who talked about their student loan experiences and what they were doing about their debt.
And so now we got the females. And again, I equal opportunity offender. That's how I am. And this is going to be crazy. Now let's talk about the females.
I think the way our student loans are given is super predatory.
Not really.
On people who are young and don't understand.
Still not really.
Or people who think that their education is going to translate into a higher paying job.
The education is going to translate to a higher paying job, but you got to be smart about the money ratio.
As you'll see, Liza asked for a loan and the government gave it to her. Those predatory monsters.
I know, right?
But this is clearly a problem. When people like Eliza sign up for student loans, they might not understand the terms of the loan or what they're getting into.
I originally had about $75,000 in loans from that 1 year of grad school.
Now, let's...
1 year! 70... This is crazy.
See what considerations Eliza made before committing to this huge sum of money.
In my mind, I was thinking, well, I'm gonna be a lawyer, I'm gonna make tons of money. I know it's gonna take me some time, but I'm gonna pay off these loans.
And that's good. When you choose your major, you need to weigh how much the school will cost against how much you will be earning in the workforce.
True.
It's called return on investment.
That I respect, yes.
Straight out of school, the economy was horrible, and I was struggling and realized it just wasn't even what I wanted to do.
And that's another problem with a lot of these people. You're taking their loans, and you won't even do the job you want to do. As we illustrated earlier with the girl who did, psych and political science, and now she works as a manager for a sales manager. Oh my goodness, for a tech company. I don't get it. Like, I know I made my decisions, but once I made my decision to go architecture and all that stuff, I stick with that son of a gun.
That epiphany cost her $75,000 with interest.
It's now up to almost $150,000. Now I do something completely different where I don't earn a ton of money. I'm on income-based repayment. So I make really small payments. They call it negative amortization, where I'm now accruing interest on the interest.
Basically, this means that her payment is so small that it's less than the interest that she was charged for that month.
I really didn't understand the magnitude of what taking out that money would mean.
Clearly.
Yes.
Particularly the terms of the loan, because a huge amount of it is something called Grad Plus. So some of the loans are federal subsidized, which means the interest is lower. And I believe, I'm not even sure, that it's simple interest, so I just pay the interest off the principal.
I'm not even sure.
You're 39 years old, or 38. I don't know. Google, research some of this stuff, make sure things are what it's supposed to be.
You'd think that after 20 years that she'd have a clear understanding as to the terms of her loan, but whatever.
I'm paying interest on the interest, and I'm not even paying all of the interest in each payment.
This woman is never, ever going to pay that loan back.
And even with Joe Biden's $10,000 ain't gonna do a dent into what that is.
Having all that debt from all those years of struggle is still a weight on me, even though I feel like now I've finally found my path.
Eliza doesn't mention what that path is exactly, but I hear that being a part-time yoga instructor can be very fulfilling.
For undergrad, I took about $18,000 in total.
Jace doesn't mention where or what she was studying, but regardless, $18K for undergrad isn't unheard of.
That's like a car. That's not bad.
As for grad school, oh gosh, I initially had a full ride the first year, and then the second year came, I talked to financial aid and they were like, surprise, you only had a full ride for your first semester.
Surprise! You've been pranked, bro. Either that or she just wasn't paying attention to the terms of her scholarship.
Yeah, because I know that's why I said at the beginning of this show that I went out and get multiple scholarships. I had the SAT scholarship. I had what was it? Community service scholarship from Durham Tech. I had ambassador scholarship. I kept on getting auto scholarship because it wasn't a full ride all the way. It was, I know what the terms were. And again, I was 17, 18, 19, knowing this stuff.
And so I ended up taking about $100K extra in student loans that
$100,000 onto the $8,000 you had?
should have never been taken out. As soon as
Yes. Oh, sorry. That is true. You should have never taken that out. That's a smart
we
thing.
opened up my student loans, I was delinquent, and I think my first payment due was like $1,500, which I don't think I even made in a month.
So Jace took out $100,000 for grad school for a degree that clearly didn't have the potential for providing a return on investment.
There's not a lot of information that's given out. I know there's entrance and exiting counseling sessions, but it doesn't really tell you what to do.
Oh, it's the counselor's fault for not explaining that you need to make more in a month than the total of your monthly payment. Again, Jace doesn't say what she was attending grad school for, but clearly it wasn't for a master's in mathematics.
Yep.
So now, within the span of about 4 or 5 years, it went from like 117K and now it's 145K, I believe, the last time I checked.
Now you might be thinking, that's crazy. There must be some mistake. How did her debt grow so fast? Does she have some insane interest rate or something?
I figured out how to keep my loans in repayment.
Okay, that's a good start, because you don't want your debt to balloon completely out of control.
But I'm actually currently paying zero because I don't even make enough to be paying monthly rates.
Seriously?
So it is nerve-wracking, but I'm hoping that within 10 years, I'll figure out how to get it all forgiven.
That's not a legitimate strategy.
I was just gonna say, this is how crazy. So that's what y'all want, Elizabeth Warren and AOC and all that stuff. And I point taken to AOC, which we might get to back a little bit. She had a loan for $100-something thousand. You make $175,000 a year as a congresswoman. You tell me you can't pay that off, including when the last 2 years up to now it was zero interest. You should be able to pay the hell off for that.
Strategy. Counting on hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt to be forgiven is like counting on winning the lottery.
Yeah.
The odds are against you.
I just really want to be financially stable because it's affected the quality of my life.
And I was laugh because I see a lot of women. You see all women on. This is just a little sidebar. I see a lot of women like, oh, men gotta do this and blah blah. And then some women be like, oh, I got a degree, whatever. Yeah. Okay. You might have a lot of degrees, my sweetheart, but you have a lot of debt, and I don't want to take on that debt. Your liability. So yeah, look all you want. Look as good, slay queen. Look all cute and all that stuff. And that you might have the body and all that stuff, but nah, I don't care. I do not care. Y'all got 65% of the debt of college debt in America. It's females.
College is an investment in your future.
And it's going up.
And if you pick a frivolous major, your earning potential will be non-existent and you'll be hounded with debt for the rest of your life. But at least Jace learned her lesson. I mean, if she had the chance to do it all over again, she wouldn't have taken out those loans, right?
Honestly, if I knew that I would have to have all those loans under my belt, I would have gone and applied to the Ivy League school of my dreams. I would have applied to Harvard.
So,
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
So instead of saying, if I had to do this over again, now I would never take all those loans. The 18,000 I might, but that's about it. You will took out more loans and go to school for what now? To get more in debt? That makes no logical sense, crazy lady. This is one of the reasons I said, okay, people are stupid, individuals smart. That's a dumb decision.
Instead of picking a different major or going to a different school, she would have gone to a more expensive school and taken out even more money in student loans. Unbelievable. But as it turns out, there's hope for people like Eliza and Jace.
Not really.
And that hope is a bailout from the US Congress.
You mean from me, which I don't like.
Hi, I'm Jace.
Which I do not like at all.
Bernie Sanders and Congresswomen Pramila Jayapal and Ilhan Omar introduced the College for All Act.
Here comes the crazies. Which again, this is not fixing the problem. This is going to make the problem worse.
This proposal will make it possible for every person in America to get all of the education they need, regardless of their financial status. Today, we are entering a proposal which will allow every person in this country to get all of the education that they need to live out their dreams because they are Americans.
How about just go to YouTube and learn some stuff? I'm just saying. I changed my brakes because I went on YouTube and learned some stuff. I learned what not to do in certain countries because I go to YouTube and learn some stuff. You could get an education without going to school, you know.
So Bernie's plan is to make 2- and 4-year public colleges and universities tuition free for everyone.
Which is going to do what? Devalue the degrees. Why would I care to hire you because of a degree that you didn't put effort into? But I digress.
But then goes on to say this.
The millennial generation was told that the only way they would get the good jobs available is if they received a college education.
Which were you who said that, you crazy old coot. A lot of y'all said that nonsense, which was a lie, but y'all wanted the college people, the colleges, to make that money.
Unfortunately, that turned out to be bad advice. It was wrong.
According to Pew Research, in 2017, the median adjusted income of households headed by millennials was comparable to the previous generation. Millennials who went to college and got a degree are better off for it. Yes, some millennials faced adversity thanks to the Great Recession, but to say that their going to college was somehow detrimental in the long term is very dishonest.
Well, going to the college, no, but choosing the wrong degrees and accumulating crazy debt, that's on them.
But like a typical radical Democrat, Bernie paints them as victims to sell his socialism. Great job, comrade. And while he says that telling millennials to go to college was bad advice, he's pushing for everyone to go to college so that they can live their dreams. So is going to college a mistake or not? It's very confusing, Bernie. The other aspect of the College for All Act would be to eliminate all outstanding student loan debt.
It cancels all of 1.6 trillion student loan debt.
No, it does not. We gotta pay
taxes. Taxes. Beautiful, lovely taxes.
Thanks for taking my money.
Basically.
No exceptions, no questions asked, full cancellation.
And that includes not only federal student loans, but also billions of dollars in private student loans.
According to a recent study, canceling all student debt would add an estimated $1 trillion to our economy over the next decade and create up to 1.5 million jobs.
In other words, if you eliminate student debt, instead of loan recipients paying the government back, they will spend it on other things.
That's not how that works. Because again, you have to pay the money in your taxes, which is going to go towards taxes.
Like Apple AirPods, Starbucks, and Amazon Prime deliveries. It's a win-win.
No,
well,
it ain't gonna cause inflation.
Well, unless you're Jason and Eliza, who are so broke that they basically pay $0 a month towards paying off their student debt. So even if you eliminated that debt, they're still going to be too broke to contribute to the economy in a meaningful way.
Student debt is not the result of bad choices or behavior.
What?
No, it's the result of bad choices and behavior. Contribute to the economy in a meaningful way.
Let's hear that again.
Student debt is not the result of bad choices or behavior.
Are her parents brother and sister? Can you please leave now? Oh, now I get it. She's a moron.
No, it's the result of bad choices and behavior.
You might ask, why full cancellation? What about the people who can pay off their student debt? Well, let me say this. The children of Donald Trump aren't asking or taking out student loans.
Translation?
Because their father... Good God, you can't be that stupid.
Don't worry, Democrat voters. Trump's family won't be getting a free ride like the rest of you.
Unfortunately,
they have... Donald Trump is a billionaire. Of course he... How stupid... I said it again. Stupid.
The cost of attaining a college degree has increased more than $1,000.
because of you guys, government.
So let's be clear about what this means. We are incentivizing our young people to not go and get a higher education. We are telling them to not go and get a trade or a vocational skill or a 4-year degree that will allow them to build a decent life.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're telling them to go get the jobs that make sense. And a vocational degree ain't gonna cost that much money to go to that school, you crazy lady.
While some people might think twice about taking on student debt burden, it's not stopping most people. Total student loan debt rose from 1.3 trillion in 2015 to 1.6 trillion in 2019.
That's 1.7 trillion right now.
Canceling student debt is a problem of the poor and the middle class, not of the rich.
Because it could pay it off. Again, she can't be that stupid.
So rather than making exceptions, let's end this crisis entirely once and for all.
All right, government should stop doing student loans. That's what a crisis should be. That's one of the answers I have to stopping this problem. Get out of student loan. No more student loans by the government. None backed up. Let the market take it. Okay, we can't guarantee nothing, so we can't do all the crazy stuff you saw at the beginning segment with the indoor plumbing and the pool and all and the cycling and all that nonsense.
But it doesn't end it entirely once and for all, because if students want to attend a private college, they will likely take out loans to pay for it, and then this whole thing starts up again. And what about students and parents who paid off most or all of their student loan debt? They're basically getting penalized because they were able and fiscally responsible. Also, when you graduate college, you have more earning potential than people who didn't attend college. Why should a minority of Americans who went to college be subsidized by the majority of Americans who didn't go to school and will ultimately make less than the people they are subsidizing?
Exactly.
The Democrats constantly preach about economic equity until it gets in the way of their agenda.
That is 100% true.
So, to help sell the concept of canceling all student debt, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tells a story from her college years.
I was mentoring this girl, this young woman. Her name was Andrea. She was about 3 or 4 years younger than me.
I hope she, well...
But I was about 19 years old and she was in high school. And she had gotten into all of these prestigious universities. But she was given no student loan assistance. She felt that the decision of college was so important that she felt that she needed to consider taking on $250,000 worth of debt to go to college. And she's 17 years old, and here I am calling her from my dormitory, a 19-year-old consulting a 17-year-old about a $250,000 loan debt situation.
Okay, let's back up a second. AOC said that she was a 19-year-old mentoring a 17-year-old.
She was about 3 or 4 years younger than me. A 19-year-old.
Okay, Andrew, a little too much.
Consulting a 17-year-old.
Leave her alone.
3 or 4 years
younger. Leave her alone.
So according to AOC, a girl 2 years younger than her was about 3 or 4 years younger than her. Man, I would love to know what happened to the girl that AOC mentored.
Me too.
I will be completely honest. I will disclose my personal stake in this fight because I have student loans too. And I think it's so funny. A year ago, I was waiting tables in a restaurant, and it was literally easier for me to become the youngest woman in American history elected to Congress than it is to pay off my student loan debt.
And you got a job.
First of all, she's complaining that it was hard for her to make student loan payments because she was working in a restaurant.
Which
but
I
that was
understand.
7 years after she graduated college with a bachelor's, so that's entirely on her.
Yes.
And maybe she couldn't get a real job because she can't count.
Well, unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs.
What?
Now, you might be thinking that free college for all and debt forgiveness is one of Bernie Sanders' pie-in-the-sky policy plans that will never happen, right? Not so fast, gang.
I believe there has to be more debt forgiveness for college loans. I think there has to be more opportunity to go to college for free.
Currently, Joe Biden isn't going the full Bernie when it comes to eliminating all outstanding debt, only some of it. But to the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, Joe Biden's an empty vessel.
Seeing how this video gonna get long, I look like I have to do a part 2. I apologize to you guys because I got too much other stuff to talk about, including the SATs part, which again, that's making a problem. So we got other stuff to talk about. All right, and I'm gonna have to do this, but I want to point out 2 more things before we go. 2 more things. I gotta play this joke because people are stupid. These are the people we've elected. We elected morons. But this is the problem with the college loans. This is another problem. You just pointed out just a second ago about if they forgive it, it's still not gonna stop future people from starting this problem up again. And they choose bad degrees, which also is part of the problem. Now, here's the other part right here. I play the joke part because it's funny, but the Democrats. I'll explain it. I'll explain on the other end.
Military personnel were being stationed on the island of Guam. Congressman Hank Johnson said this.
My fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
What the fuck?
That's not. Oh, you gotta love you Democrats, boy. I gotta love y'all.
Excuse me?
We don't anticipate that.
Later, Representative Johnson said he was joking. But
nah, he was not. No, he was not. He was not joking.
It didn't sound like he was joking. And then there was the time when Congresswoman Maxine Waters grilled bankers.
And this is the part of the problem. This is another problem. That's why I said one of the solution is to government should get out of student loans completely. Out.
About student loan debt.
What are you guys doing to help us with the student loan debt? Who would like to answer first? Mr. Monahan, Big Bank.
Wow. Maxine Walker is a she's literally.
You piece of loser.
But listen again.
We stopped making student loans in 2007 or so.
Oh, so you don't do it anymore, Mr. Corbett?
We exited student lending in 2009.
You want to know why they stopped doing these loans?
Mr. Diamond?
When the government took over student lending in 2010 or so, we stopped doing all student lending.
When the what? Hey, white man, say it again. Let's say it again. Why is the problem is crazy? Because the debt went crazy after this in 2010.
In all student lending, 2010 or so, we stopped doing all student lending.
Is the chair of the Financial Services Committee embarrassed that she didn't know that at the direction of her party, government took over student loans years ago? I don't know. Her staff didn't respond to our emails.
Shocking, not surprising.
Watching the hearings, watching politics.
And she voted for the damn thing too. That's the part that pissed me off too. You voted to do it, and then you're surprised that the bankers can help do what? You took over the loans, you moron. But she knows that. But it's all a political gain for all this stuff. And what Joe Biden is doing right now is, of course, so people go, oh, we could get the student loan forgiveness, which again, he needs Congress to do that. He can't do it really legally because he's gonna be tied up in red tape. He's just doing that so he can say, oh, he did this thing, so we could go and whatever. Just like they passed this stupid thing about, oh, Joe Biden passed the best climate change bill. No, he has not. No, he has not. Again, it was supposed to stop inflation. Forgiving the student loans will cause more inflation. But again, I will have to dig into another series on that. Again, I don't know whether to do a project open mic, or I will do it as a side chat thing. think I'll have to do the project with Mike because I want to do project with Mike. But yeah, so next week we'll continue with part 2 to finish up and give and for those who waited there, here's my solution really in that regard. Okay, the solution is this: the government stop doing the loans. People who have loans right now should drop down to 1%. Let it get the 1%. I know Tim well, another person I use on the channel to make videos is Tim Pool. He wants to be 0. Nah, you made a loan, you should pay something to help back in the coffers, because again, that's a lot of money to pay. So 1% or 0.5%, something like that. Keep it there, lock it. It's forever. Get out of the student loan debt for the government. Lock the interest down to 5%, 0.5% or percent. The colleges will respond to that by, oh, shoot, we need to get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of that, because they know that people can't afford all that stuff. Stop getting degrees that's all useless. All right. And if you have paid like you have paid, you know what? I want to play this clip. If you have paid your college student loans back, it should be a tax deductible to a certain degree. So if you pay $50,000, $10,000 a year goes towards a tax break. That's what it should be, because you paid off a lot of money. Because again, I don't want to be like that. You pay off $100,000 and let's play that clip. I gotta play that clip before we done. Let's play that clip. Listen to Elizabeth Warren. This bull crap before we go.
I want to ask one question. My daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loans. Am I going to get my money back? My daughter's getting...
Roll the clip.
I want, like I said, sorry, but I wanted to you could also see the screen. Let's go.
I just want to ask one question. My daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loans. Am I going to get my money back? Of course not. So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us that did the right thing get screwed.
No, it's not anybody got screwed. When we
Of
started
course we did. My buddy had fun, bought a car, went on vacations. I saved my money. He made more than I did. But I worked a double shift, worked extra. My daughter's work, she was 10. So you're laughing. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. We did the right thing, and we get screwed.
I appreciate
That's
it.
all right.
Thank you, Dad. He's right. You getting screwed. No matter what it is, you getting screwed. You made the money. That's the part that sucks. You work so hard, you paid off, you saved the money, you pay off it, or you pay off your debt or whatever, but you don't get the money back. That's why I said my plan, yes, those who paid off their debt, if they could show that they paid off their debt, have to show it, then you should write it down and get a tax break on that from the IRS. So if you say, oh, well, you know what, I made blah, 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 tax break, $10,000, $50,000, maybe about 20, no more than 20, that you can write off a year. So you can keep it going, because again, the government needs to still make money, whatever. But again, that part right there should be a part of the daggone thing. It really should be. You paid off, you should get rewarded for doing the right thing, not being punished for doing the wrong thing. Seriously. That is the way to fix the situation, okay? With that said, guys, I'm gonna, like I said, do a part 2 to this, because I got more stuff to talk about. It's gonna be I didn't want it to be too long and be up there too late, so I apologize for that. But thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for giving your mind, your ears, and everything. This debt thing is even more. Like I said, there's more videos I could show you and explain to you. Okay, and that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put these videos in the raw list. You go to Project Open Mic down in the bottom, Project Open Mic on YouTube, and you should see the raw files. I'll be putting those videos in the raw files, so you can see those without my commentary, and yeah, that's just basically what it is. So with that, like I said, we have many other things to add on to this video, but it's gonna get long, so I'll stop it here. Come back next week unless something crazy happens. We're gonna talk about part 2 of the student loan debt. All All right, and maybe in the future I'll combine both videos together because it's gonna be long, but it's an important topic. It really is. Okay. So with that said, hope you guys have a good weekend. Labor Day weekend is coming up. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Don't drink and drive, or drive responsibly, please. Not do any stupid acts. Be careful what's going on around here because a lot of people have mental issues. And be due diligent of where you at all times. All right. Be careful. So. Remember, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, height, sex, government, nationality, party, makes no difference. Evil. This, of course, is needed to stay right here. As I stated before, rich will stay getting rich. Poor will keep fighting for their crumbs. Middle class like you and me are going to get just basically get the lube ready because sometimes they don't even get the lube. Sometimes they don't even want to get a spit. You know what I'm talking about. And again, we are really doing a disservice for children. It's sad, it sucks, I wish it was, but not that. And last but not least, you guys know how I stand about this. You know what? People are stupid. A lot of people in the government are stupid too, as I just shown. People are stupid, individuals smart. That's my individual, man. Make the right decision. Go for the degree that makes money. Not fairy money. STEM, math, science, and stuff like that. Not fake science, but good science. Again, and you don't have to go to a college. You could go to a trade school. You could go to a community college and be specific in mechanics or HVC or plumbing, something like that. That's what you should be doing that. All right, not the craziness these people are doing right now. It's not helping nobody with that. And for people on Facebook, and again, I know they're gonna just hope you guys see what it is. I know, like I said, they're literally shadow banning me on Facebook. If you're on Twitch and everybody else, as I said before, share the content. Go to youtube.com. Project Open Mic, like I say, it's on the screen at the bottom. Subscribe, share the content, hit the notification bell. We do this show Thursday, Project Open Mic, Friday side chat, fill out your fee on Monday, Straight No Chasers, which you see the playlist if you go there, and then of course Andre's Like So Much. Hope you guys have a good night, and catch y'all again for part 2. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day.